in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump. A political chump. In Washington, D.C., in the House of Representatives, there are 257 who are Democrats. Only 177 are Republicans. In the Senate, there are 67 Democrats. Only 33 are Republicans. The party that you backed controls 2/3 of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and still they can't keep their promise to you, because you're a chump. Anytime you throw your weight behind a political party that controls 2/3 of the government, and that party can't keep the promise that it made to you during election time, and you're dumb enough to walk around continuing to identify yourself with that party, you're not only a chump, but you're a traitor to your race. I know you don't like me saying that, but I'm not the kind of person who come here to say what you like. I'm going to tell you the truth whether you like it or not.
The United States of America is the most successful nation the world has ever known. And I think that's largely because we're the freest nation. Humans cannot reach their potential, cannot realize their dreams unless they're free.
If prosperity were easy, everybody around the world would be prosperous. If freedom were easy, everybody around the world would be free. If security were easy, everybody around the world would be secure. They are not. None of this is going to be easy. But this is the United States of America. It takes an extraordinary effort. It takes extraordinary commitment. It takes extraordinary strength. The Valley Forge wasn't easy. Going to the moon wasn't easy. Settling the West wasn't easy. We are the American people. We have seen difficulties before, and we always overcome. This is about rolling up our sleeves. We might have some differences, but at Americans putting our head down and getting it done.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Today, I'm very proud of myself.
Newsmax calls him a top 50 most influential black Republican in the country. Liberals call him. The president calls him Wayne.
We do love Wayne, right? We love Wayne, right?
Broadcasting live from the We Are America radio studios in Washington, D.C. This is the Wayne Dupree Show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, and we are live here on Saturday night. We have a special guest coming on in a few minutes, and yes, he will be here tonight. He will be here. He wasn't here last week, but he will be here tonight. Let me bring on my co-host, the infamous, this is Hutch Bailey Jr. What's up, Hutch?
Hey, good evening, Wayne. I hope you're having a good weekend. This guy better call tonight.
Yeah. Well, I heard from a little birdie that he is going to be here tonight, man. He's look, he might have disappointed us last week.
Hey, he's a busy guy. What are you going to do?
But yeah, what are you going to do about it? Forget about it, right? Forget about it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are broadcasting simultaneously on Spreaker. We're broadcasting on K-Truth, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, and we also have a great audience in bringing in the Political Insider tonight. So welcome to the viewers of the politicalinsider.com. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not ventured over there to the politicalinsider.com, make sure you bookmark that in your browser. Make sure, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later too, but make sure that you bookmark the Political Insider in your web browser. So many things to talk about. Short time to do it. We're going to be on until about 9:30 tonight. We'll see where things go with that. We're going to go right into the Omnibus because we didn't do a show last night. And Hutch, I'm going to say what I said last May, and so many people have this. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you call Groundhog Day. That's what it is. It's Groundhog Day. Because last May, when they pushed that omnibus bill through for over $1 trillion, I kept saying that we're supposed to be conservatives and we're supposed to be worrying about stuff like that. And people called in. People said, "Look, he needs to do this. It won't happen again. He needed to do this." And Bill's and this is Obama's old stuff or whatever. People came up with excuses. But when you look at the money that was spent and how much they did it, that's what I was looking at. There's supposed to be a concern, and Hutch has been talking about for a long time that we need a budget. We need a budget. We got to have a budget. Nobody's put forth a budget before. The Republicans have been in charge, and they haven't done anything in the way of a budget. And they know that they need a budget, and they think, I guess they think, Hutch, since President Trump is in office, right now they can just kick that down the road. As long as they can keep on doing these omnibus bills, by putting everything in there. We read some of that stuff. On Thursday night. We were hoping that President Trump didn't sign it. He signed it. He came out on Friday. I talked to Hutch about it. We talked about it. One of the main reasons why we didn't do a show last night is because I didn't want to get on here and say the wrong thing.
I would have last night.
I didn't want to say the wrong thing.
I would have said the wrong thing last night. I was pissed off last night. I was.
I didn't want to get on here and say the wrong thing, and I didn't want to curse out nobody that was going to call in and try to rein me in and stuff like that. So we slept on it. And I want you to know today, for all of you that are angry, you are justified in being angry. No matter who comes up in your face, no matter if they call themselves MAGA and they're trying to come up with conspiracies about what Trump is going to do with the money and stuff. Yeah, I know. I seen it online today. But we're also dealing with individuals that can't let stuff they can't look at things in reality. The Republicans, in my opinion, set up Donald Trump on this one.
I agree 100%.
They set him up, and some of you have, look, I've interviewed the man 5 times. I've interviewed him 5 times. Some of you have never interviewed him at all. You take what you see on TV and you say, oh, well, he's got a way out of this. He's got a way out of that. He didn't have a way out of this one. Or, well, actually, he did, actually. No, he did. But he didn't take it. Because of, I guess, General Matters. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's the, I can't believe it happened, but I can understand how it happened. I can understand. I don't know what General Matters told him. You know already that he has a tremendous love for our military.
For the military, right? And I think they use that against him.
I do too.
Yeah.
So you can kind of see how he did it. But that being said, I don't think the one thing that I'm struggling with, I'm not sure if he knows how bad of an enemy he faces in the Republican Party.
Yeah.
I don't think he fathoms that they are as ruthless and as skanky and sleazy as they are, that they would do. This is a political move. This doesn't have anything to do with money. I mean, it does inherently, but this was a move that was set up to separate you and me from him.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
And that's why we didn't do a show last night, because I was getting ready to run. But I realized I was blowing off steam, and I tweeted that out.
Yeah.
And now it's time to get back to the fight.
Well,
somehow.
Yeah. I look. Again, I go back to $2 trillion. I don't care how y'all serve it up. Seriously, I don't care how you serve it up. You can come in with 3D, 4D, 5D chess. You're talking about $2 trillion in 10 months. How do you do that?
Especially when nobody, except maybe the military, the few 100,000 people in the military that get raises, and the congressional staffers that get raises. But for the vast majority of Americans, they're not going to see a nickel of that $1 trillion.
Nothing.
They're not. It's going to change your life as much as Obama's shovel-ready jobs did.
Exactly. The $1 trillion that, I mean, I don't even know how many $1 trillion that they pushed through under Obama for their omnibus, because I remember back in 2014 or 2015 when Paul Ryan became speaker, they pushed through $1 trillion omnibus bill too.
Within like a week or two.
And then last year, 2017, they pushed through an omnibus of $1 trillion that only lasted for about 4 or 5 months. And then they did another one. See, I mean, it's like they have a template of what they need to do, and instead of cutting, they just push through whatever they have on a piece of paper.
On 2,200 pieces of paper.
Now, last May, it was 1,500 pages. 1,500 pages for $1.1 trillion. Now, this year is 2,200 pages for $1.3 trillion. They added stuff. They added stuff, and then Paul Ryan, if you read the headlines, Paul Ryan ran over to the White House before it snowed to assure President Trump, you got money for the military, you got money for the wall, And, some people were tweeting out to me today, oh, President Trump is going to use all the money the way he wants to, and President Trump is not in charge of the money. The House is, right? Am I right?
It depends where the money went. I mean, it depends on those 2,200 pages. It went to different agencies. It went to all kinds of different places. He could do anything he wants with that military money.
The military money, which was $800 million, right? $800 million.
Yeah. Actually, Mattis can, but I mean, he can influence Mattis.
Right. Okay.
And his other agencies too. But it's still, there's no, you can't call yourself a Republican anymore.
No.
If you voted for that thing, you just can't. In concept, just the idea of having a single omnibus bill where nobody's held accountable for anything. Right. You're not a Republican. You're a Democrat, man. And then Paul Ryan. And then you're part of the swamp, man.
And then they left him. They left him for they left him in D.C. Man, it would have been so awesome if he would have came out and said, "I'm vetoing this thing." They would have, man. They would have ran back to D.C. What? But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I feel he should have vetoed it, and I think he should have brought people back and forced them to push stuff for the military, and then work out all this other stuff. Because if you look at all the other stuff, that $1 trillion omnibus bill is paying for walls in different countries. It's paying for all that other stuff that don't have nothing to do with the United States of America.
Planned Parenthood, sanctuary cities.
Yeah,
I mean,
that no.
There's no excuse for that. The military could have sucked it up for a little bit.
Yeah. And plus, the same thing happened in January when they were talking about a government shutdown, and then all of a sudden they came with the money for the military. You remember? It was military, but they came up with the money for the military in January. So they would have came up with the money for the military, period, because Donald Trump would have seen that. Donald Trump, it would have been done. The military would have got paid. But when I heard General Mattis, they called him and stuff, and that's looking to me like that's the thing that did it. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're angry, be angry. You have a right to be angry. We're talking about trillions of dollars. And like I said on Thursday night, this trillion doesn't go down under the Republican Congress. It goes down under Trump. $2 trillion in 10 months. They're going to be talking about that in
20 elections, yeah.
Yeah, midterms. This president just spending on Washington away. And all of y'all are going to be saying, no, it's the Republican Congress. Y'all didn't blame the Democrat Congress for Obama's $10 trillion. Did you? I know I didn't. I was like, Obama, 10 trillion, Obama. Okay. Y'all have a right to be angry. So if you are, fine, use it. Use it to find candidates. Use it to find candidates that are conservative enough to go up there and that have a MAGA mindset. Because right now, you don't have a whole lot of people in office that are MAGA mindset. And let me say one more thing, too. Hutch, there are some people, the senators that voted no were allowed to vote no. Because
I guarantee it.
Most of them are being primary or have elections in November.
Yeah, they counted them up. They knew exactly what the vote was. They always do.
So,
in the House, too. I mean, there's a guy, a position in the House, it's called a whip. And their job is to go around and count who's going to vote for what. And that's when they can take some people, maybe they're in a hard race or something. All right, you can vote no.
Yeah.
And you can vote yes, and we'll still have enough. It's all bull.
It's all bull.
It really is. It's a shame that it's like that. And it might not be like that for every single vote. But ideological vote, this was a vote to get rid of Trump.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I mean, you can believe what you want, but that's what it was.
It was. And everything is attached to him. Like I said, both of us agree this thing was meant to be a millstone around Trump's neck.
With us.
And they wanted us to be angry about him, because Laura Ingraham, and I wish I had those phone calls. So many people called up. Please, President, please don't sign this. We, the American people, we are with you. Don't sign it. Don't sign it. Veto it. Bring them back. Make them fight for fight for the military. All those people were calling in. And I'm sure that people were calling in to D.C. and they were sick. And I think that's why he had his change of heart on Friday morning until Mattis called him.
Yeah, the military got him. I mean, now here's a guy, and I still support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with your best friend every time. He does stupid stuff too.
Yeah.
But I think that he's been to Walter Reed, and he's done these things before he was president.
Right.
So I think he really feels that. And it's unfortunate that they would be slimy enough to use that.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kat Hernandez on the line. What's up, Kat?
Hey, I rushed back just to be on with you guys.
Well, Sean is supposed to be calling in any time now, so just as soon as we get him in, we will be getting him in. We were just talking briefly about the Omnibus bill signing and how we felt that the Republicans were using this to make Trump look bad. So,
all you could, it's like it gives you that kind of, when you have a bad aftertaste in your mouth and you're just like, ugh, you just want to get it out. That's what this is, because the reality is we know how much they suck and we all wanted them to do the right thing. Now that we have a leader who actually doesn't care what they think, and it's like, screw you, just veto it. That, honestly, that's what I thought he was going to do. And so I get it with the need to fund the military and getting a lot of the monies in or whatever, but it does feel like a sellout move,
Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Wayne Dupree Show. I am your host, Wayne Dupree, along with Hutch Bailey Jr. and Kat Hernandez. And right now, I think we're all right, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage. It's been a little bit. It's been a long time, but my big brother is back in the studio. That's right. He has flown all the way from New York City, and he is in the Brick House Studios. Yeah, I just can't show him to you right now, but
the Brick House,
the Brick House Studios, man.
Brick House.
That's not where he wants to be.
Where's the music? I want to hear the music.
Okay, well, hold on. Look. Hey, Hutch, I got it over there.
Oh man. All right, everybody put their hands up. Come on.
Okay.
That's Wayne Dupree on the Brick House Studios with Sean Hannity. Okay, so.
Oh, man.
You like that? You like that?
By the way, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. How's the crew?
No, we're good. We got Hutch Bailey Jr. on the line. We got the beautiful Kat Hernandez. See, I got you there.
Thank you.
I got Kat Hernandez. So, listen, Sean, so many things are happening in Washington, D.C. A lot of people are leaving. A lot of people are coming in.
Right.
But one of the main things I want to talk to you about is how in the world or what are we going to do for the midterms with these Republicans who are just hell bent on spending, and no accountability.
Listen, I've been saying it for many years now. Republicans have lost their way. Mm-hmm. They seem like a carbon copy of the Democratic Party, and they, Republican principles, or conservative principles, that would be the prescription for a great 2018. If they would manage their money better instead of this omnibus disaster. Look, I think you should turn over every single nickel when you're talking about the public's money. Mm-hmm. And the idea that they're going to have a budget-busting omnibus bill like this, and they don't even give members 48 hours to look at the bill. It's a 2,300-page monstrosity. I mean, this is the type of thing that I'd expect Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi to do.
Right.
And I do like the idea that there's another $700 billion for the military, because our military has been depleted. We got to build it up. It's a dangerous world. We have to have that force as a deterrent because we don't want to go to war. So that's a good part of it. I'm looking at this bill and I'm saying, okay, where's the border wall funding? I want the border wall funded. I want that. I think is a top priority. I think the American people, if they did two things, well, three. If they would manage their money better,
right.
If they would really keep the promise to eliminate Obamacare, repeal, replace it completely. Getting rid of the mandate was a big deal when that happened in the tax bill. And then if they build a couple of 100 miles of the border wall, and then the president can go out there and say, okay, well, I kept my promises. I cut taxes. I kept my promises. I ended burdensome Obama-era regulations. I kept my promises. We're now moving towards energy independence, and we're the largest energy producer in the world for the first time in a long time. I created 4 million jobs. By then, there'll be at least 4, maybe 5. We have the most competitive corporate rate in the world. We have trillions pouring in through repatriation. Take a look at this company. They're now building a factory. This company's building a factory. We got manufacturing centers going up in Wisconsin, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan. And, the more of their promises they keep, the better their odds that they keep the House. The president has an agenda, but Republicans in general, they've been timid and they've been weak, and unfortunately, they don't really have a vision that is driving them.
Right.
And it seems like the gang that can't shoot straight Republican Party.
Right.
It's almost, and thanks for coming on the show, Sean. It's almost like Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell are just continuing what the Democrats have done. For the last 9 years, we haven't even had a real budget. And I just wonder,
yeah, you're right.
I just wonder if we should start a national push, because it's not just the congressmen. We're held in the dark. We don't know anything that's in that 2,200-page bill other than what Rand Paul tweets out at night. But, I mean, there needs to be a national push to get back to agency by agency budgeting so the American people can see where their taxpayer money is going. I mean,
listen, I've been a proponent for a long time of eliminating all baseline budgeting. And, you know, the idea that you build in 5, 6, 7, 8% increases every year into every single program. Government, you know, we need to reduce the size of government. And I mean a real reduction of government, not just a decrease of the projected increase. It's amazing. If you decrease some of the projected increase, you know, the Democrats go nuts that you're starving children and want to kill grandma.
Right.
And Republicans seem too timid that they don't want to get involved in that fight. But there's a really simple way to balance the budget. I've advocated this for years. You cut 1 penny out of every dollar government spends. You do it every year for 6, 7 years. You balance the budget. Now, there's got to be some discretion. We certainly need to build up the military. I think the president's right on that. There's no reason why you cannot fund the border wall, although I'm pretty convinced, I've talked to my sources in D.C., close to the president, they think that money, that they can legally appropriate that money to build the wall, which is great, and we can get in the process of it. You know, it's very interesting to see that the Democrats don't really care about Dreamers or DACA because they didn't even address it in the bill. And it's the president that was saying, you don't even address DACA here. You're not solving problems here.
Right.
Why don't we get this right? And look, why do they get off 2 weeks for Easter? I don't get off 2 weeks for Easter. Do you? Wayne, you get off 2 weeks for Easter?
No, sir. No, sir. I sure don't.
I don't get off 2 weeks for Easter. I get off 2 days. I get off Thursday, Holy Thursday, and Good Friday.
Okay. Well, you know, it's interesting that you mentioned taking a penny from every dollar, right? Because if we even look at Trump's presidency right now, he's done so much more than any other president with less. And with less support, with less money, and he's actually achieved more than any other president.
With
by way
less,
of,
and I'll add one other thing: working under conditions that no other president has had to work under, with a special counsel breathing down his neck with no mandate every day.
Well, you know, and he thrives because he's a New Yorker, like you know, Sean. Like this is what we're cut from. This is what we're made of. So I'm sure he could roll with the punches, but. What do you say about all of the social programs that are put in place that are constantly being funded with no real actual results? How do you balance, you know, social programs that really disincentivize people to want to achieve more because it actually will hold you back versus the conservative point of view where you should do it on your own, capitalism, entrepreneurialism, you know.
Remember, though, the president's tax cuts have already resulted in 3 million new jobs for Americans, and we have 2 million fewer Americans on food stamps. In 8 years of Obama, we had 13 million more Americans on food stamps, 8 million more in poverty. So that reversal has taken place because the president has brought principles back to conservative values where we're getting away with we're letting businesses do their thing, less burdensome regulation. He single-handedly saved the coal industry. The pipelines are being built. ANWR is opened up. Drilling in the 48 states is allowed. Natural gas production. You know, for all the talk about he's not tough enough on Putin, that alone is going to knock out the economic legs of Vladimir Putin. And more importantly, it puts America on a path towards energy independence, and it's the lifeblood of our economy, so it makes perfect sense. But all these Americans that remember that election in 2016 was about the forgotten men and women in this country.
Right.
Exactly.
And those men and women, they want their manufacturing jobs back and now beginning to come back. And they deserve that and so much more. And we don't need to be robbing future generations to do this. We're taking in record numbers of revenues, and Washington needs to do more with less. And every single time an opportunity comes up for them to stand up to their conservative principles, they punt or they back down. You know, the greatest example is Barack Obama's president. 65 times the House votes to repeal and replace Obamacare. Then then we have Donald Trump as president, and then we learned about 100 of those Republicans never had any intention of really replacing and repealing Obamacare, and they passed the bill at least, but it wasn't anything what they had been promising us. And then you have the Senate in 2015. You have Republicans voting to just eliminate Obamacare, and 7 of them, when it really mattered in 2017, they said, no, we didn't really mean it. So it's really hard when you're dealing with people that are real political animals, and all they seem to really care about is their reelection, and they're not willing to keep their promises, or take a stand. For 20 years on the air, I talked about solutions to the healthcare problems in America.
Right.
Healthcare savings accounts. For 5 years, I've been putting this guy on, Dr. Josh Umber from this Atlas MD. He's down in Wichita, Kansas. The guy's developed a system where every adult can pay $50 a month, have access to a doctor 24/7. He negotiates directly with the pharmaceutical company. So if you need blood pressure medicine, you need cholesterol medicine, you're going to walk out the door with that medicine, and you're only paying like 5% of what you'd normally pay.
Right.
We can institutionalize these models and then put in a catastrophic plan if, God forbid, if you get a heart attack, you get cancer, you have a bad accident. That's very inexpensive insurance, especially with a high deductible.
Like car
the Republicans during the healthcare debate, they never brought up these ideas we've been discussing for decades, not once. They never talked about it, except for Rand Paul, to be honest.
Let me, ladies and gentlemen, you listen to the Wayne Dupree Show along with our special guest, my big brother Sean Hannity, Hutch Bailey Jr. and Kat Hernandez. Real quick, let me see where you are with this Facebook situation, and how the social media platforms are suppressing conservative talk, conservative speech, and do you see any light at the end of the tunnel? Or why don't you think big conservative, rich individuals have been able to create something on our own for us to have a place to...
Well, I think it's coming.
Okay.
If Twitter's going to keep censoring conservative voices, and YouTube is going to continue to do the same thing, and, the whole thing with Facebook and Zuckerberg, this is Obama's creation. This wasn't Donald Trump's creation, this analytics company that everybody's been talking about. And, the idea that he allows that vulnerability and allows that to happen, at that point, somebody's got to step in. They have to be able, in this day and age, we've got to be able to manage data, and we've got to be able to protect, that information. And if we can't, then we better get somebody who can. What frustrates me, look at, for example, WikiLeaks. So many people hate WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was able to get the email.
I love them.
Well, we know Hillary's server that she illegally put in a mom and pop shop bathroom closet and managed by outsiders, and she had classified and top secret and special access program information. You look at the original exoneration letter that was being drafted by James Comey and Peter Strzok. They were talking about how outside entities, foreign countries, hostile actors like Russia and China and Iran and North Korea were hacking into Hillary's thing. It could have been one of 100 countries, if you ask me, that could have handed over that information to WikiLeaks or some insider. So, but Julian Assange, he first was able to hack into NASA and the DOD when he was 16.
Right.
Yep.
He's now in his mid-40s. And the fact that America didn't take that as a warning sign that we need top-notch cybersecurity, at one point it's, shame on you. Maybe the second time it's shame on you.
Right.
But 30 years later, it's shame on us.
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's totally negligent.
They have an obligation to protect that information, and they're not protecting it. And I'm not even discussing the problems of people within high up within the intelligence community and the CIA and others, the deep state that have been misusing the powerful tools that we give them for political purposes. That's a big problem.
Absolutely. Sean, I want to shift just a little bit. You know that Ambassador Bolton is replacing H.R. McMaster, a solid guy, real solid guy. I agree. But then you have Adam Schiff in the Democrat Party, a House member, hitting the panic button. Yeah, he's hitting the panic button. And he's saying that John Bolton, now this is after all that we know. John Bolton believes that Obama's FBI conspired to frame Trump. And there are people in this country that actually believe the things that Schiff says. And I guess this boils down to the seawall that's created by the fake news media.
Schiff is let's just be blunt. Schiff is a liar who's auditioning to work at either the whole fake news network, CNN, or conspiracy TV, MSNBC. Let's be honest here.
Right. Everybody has their place.
275 appearances. You know, they did a 14-month investigation. He goes on The View, of all places, with Meghan McCain. And Meghan McCain says, all right, it's been 14 months. Give us the evidence. And he goes, well, the evidence is already out in the public domain. There is no evidence.
Yeah. She did good.
She did good. All right, Shiftless Schiff is lying through his teeth, and I don't really care what he has to say, but if he had evidence, if anybody had evidence, we would know. The great irony, and one of the reasons I'm calling this the year of the boomerang, is, and maybe this is some good that has come out of all of this, but we now find ourselves, we've learned a lot. We've done a lot of digging. We've learned that when we first reported in 2017, March 8th on Hannity, Sarah Carter, John Solomon broke the big story that Trump Tower had been surveilled. Okay, so then we started digging deep into all of these different scandals. What did we find? Hillary Clinton rigged the primary against Bernie Sanders. Nobody seems to care, but I don't want elections in America rigged, and nobody should be able to rig them. Then you have issue number 2. We know Hillary committed crimes by mishandling and destroying classified information, top secret, special access program information on her secret server in the bathroom closet. Then she had 33,000 emails that were subpoenaed. She deleted those. Then she acid washes and uses bleach pit on the hard drive. Then she breaks up the devices that have that information, all in an attempt to circumvent congressional oversight. All right, those are crimes. Those are illegal. But then we learn that people like Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, Andrew McCabe, and James Comey, well, they're writing her exoneration in May of 2016, long before they interview her or 17 other main witnesses on the 4th of July weekend, and then they exonerate her the next day. They had already written the exoneration long before the investigation. Then we find out about the phony dossier that she paid for. Yet, I thought it was wrong to have foreign nationals influencing our elections, but she hires Fusion GPS after she funnels money through Perkins Coie, she hires Fusion GPS. Fusion GPS hires a foreign national. This foreign national has contacts within the Russian government and Russia. They make up salacious, unverified, undocumented lies about Donald Trump. All of that was designed to mislead the American people. Fusion GPS never verified any of it. The FBI never verified any of it. Certainly Christopher Steele didn't verify any of it. They're shopping it to American media companies in this country. And then it gets even worse because they desperately wanted to get a warrant to spy on the campaign. So they go after Trump campaign associate Carter Page, and the bulk of the application for the FISA warrant is this phony Russian government dossier that Hillary paid for. And they never tell the FISA court judge in its original application or the 3 subsequent renewal applications that Hillary bought and paid for it, and we didn't do our job corroborating it. We have no idea if it's true, and it all turned out to be lies. So that's where we are. These are major abuse of power scandals and corruption in the country.
You need an award.
Well, you just...
Yeah,
and by the way, the mainstream media only cares about Stormy Daniels, which, if it was true, would be a consensual relationship,
Anyways, none of our business.
Yeah.
But they didn't care about Juanita being raped.
Nope.
They didn't seem to care about Kathleen Willey being, groped and fondled and touched against her will, or Paula Jones
that didn't fit into the narrative at the time. So
Exactly.
Those are not things. Well, you've just outlined how misleading and like master manipulators that these people are, all who reside in the liberal Hillary camp. But I kind of want to talk to you again about a certain manipulation, which is now happening really with our kids. So we have these horrible tragedies happening, and you'll see the leaders of the Democrat Party and all these movements to have our kids who really were traumatized, right? Like, I'm a parent and I'm pretty good at understanding my kids' emotional distress. But now you parade them in front of everyone. It's like instantaneous protest. It's not even a protest, but they're all there. They don't even know how to digest and their own emotions and understand what happened. Now you have them in front of people. You put them in the public eye, and they're
they're
these
also
young
being
kids.
Organized by groups and people with political agendas. Here's the problem.
They don't know they're being manipulated. But as parents and as adults, we should understand, like, this is exploitation, period.
It's even worse than that. What they're advocating for is not going to protect our kids at school.
Right, it's against their best interest.
Well, I think this could be done very easily, inexpensively, and I have it all figured out. It's simple. We're going to treat kids and give kids in schools the same security that we give actors and actresses on the red carpet.
Yep.
We're going to give them the same. We're going to give them the same protection that members of Congress and the Senate and the president get. And the way you do it is every school in America needs to have a full threat security assessment by their local police and the FBI.
Yep.
And then they've got to have an entry system where every kid has an ID or they don't get into school. Then they need to go through a metal detector like we do when we fly on an airplane. And then we need to have armed, concealed carry, police retired, military retired, that secure the perimeter of the school so nobody can get in, number one. And number two, then we need to have inside of every school, on every hall, 2 armed concealed carry professionals. I don't want to arm teachers. Teachers have another job to do. They're too busy.
Yeah.
I think we've got to have people full-time job. Now, you're going to ask, Hannity, it's a lot of money. You just told us that we don't want to spend money. How are you going to pay for that?
We got money, Hannity. We got money. They're printing it.
No, we don't need money. All we'll do is any retired police officer, any retired military trained professional, that if they work, say, 15 hours a week, they will qualify for an exemption where they pay no state income tax, no federal income tax, and no local income tax.
Okay.
And a $5,000 bonus if you're coming off welfare.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. We're not taking any money out of anybody's pocket.
Right.
We're getting record revenues to these states, record revenues to the federal government. Now, at that point, you got the perimeter secure. Nobody gets into this school without an ID. We check to make sure they don't have weapons when they're coming into the school. The perimeter secure. Every single floor, every hall in that school is protected.
Right.
And, I'm not saying to have these guys with machine guns. I'm saying they wear a suit and a tie, have concealed carry, and all of these instances when they occur, these school shootings are over in 3 minutes. So the answer is have people there that can engage somebody that's acting this way, and we can save the kids' lives.
So I just want to follow up real quick. Hold on. I just want to follow up. So let's take the kids in the school, for example. This kid, crazy, whoever it was, whatever his issues were that led him to this. I believe as a mother that kids are really reflecting what's happening in society, and even in their own way that they can express themselves, not to make this kid, a sorry victim in any which way, but I really believe that our kids are really crying out for some kind of attention, or we just need to be paying more attention to what they need.
We blew it. let me tell you something. If the police show up at your house, 39 times in the 7-year period, that ought to set off alarm bells in a major way.
I've never heard anything like that before.
Intervention.
I've never heard anything like that before.
If the FBI is getting specific threats and they're not passing it on to the local field officers, there's culpability there because this all could have been prevented. And if you have guards that are on duty and they hide outside while the shooting's going on inside, that's not the cops that I know in life. And that had to be some top-down protocol that said don't engage. So
but it feels like a loss of not just compassion, but like your humanity towards other people. Like, is this a effect of social media? Is it effect of like long-term people just don't care about each other anymore? I mean, these are children.
Well,
at the
there's
end
a
of the day,
coarsening of the
18
culture.
Yeah,
look, there's a coarsening of the culture. We've thrown God out of school. It's not like you can teach any values in school that aren't total top-of-the-line PC values. But I would rather send the kids to school anyway to learn to read, write, do math, and the fundamentals, so we can compete on an international level. But the kids, to make that even remotely possible, you have to have a safe environment first and foremost.
Right.
And listen, just treat the kids like we treat Hollywood actors and actresses.
Exactly.
If we do that, they'll be safe.
My daughters think they're
Sean,
superstars already.
Sean, listen.
Yeah.
Look, thank you for your time, and I know that
Anytime.
you have a whole. Believe me, your show. You got to do your show and everything, and you got to. But thank you so much for coming on this show. We want to have you back. Maybe you might be able to take some calls next time.
You always want to have me back.
You're great radio,
I'm like
great
the
radio.
guest that keeps talking.
But that's great radio, though. That's great radio. But
listen, I love you guys. Congratulations on your show, Wayne. I'm proud of you, and you're a dear friend. I love everybody. God bless you guys.
Hey, Sean, members over at thepoliticalinsider.com want to say hello to you and that they love what you're doing. And
well, hi to them.
I wanted to get that out for them. So thank you so much
right,
again.
my friend.
All right.
God bless you. I'll talk soon.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks, you. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Sean Hannity here on the Wayne Dupree Show. Cat Hutch, great job, man. Great job.
Man, I'll tell you what, that guy, he's got some memory banks, doesn't he?
I know he does.
He can just keep, subject to subject. I was impressed.
He can talk, boy.
I'm excited.
I don't usually get impressed. That impressed me. It was like, he's like a rolling encyclopedia, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the way
he's so in the game, it's like it's great to listen because he refreshes like all the reasons why you stand for your principles. Is like he got the whole list for you.
The way that he tears down the Schiff Nunez breakdown. I mean, Sarah Carter has him so educated. I mean, it's almost like you can have him as a special guest to explain what's happening with the Russia situation and Trump. I'm serious. He has that all the way down, and he did it without notes.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
he's not sitting in the studio, but I mean, it's the weekend. It's like,
hey, Wayne,
wow.
I do this without notes.
All right. Okay, you.
Wayne, what's happening?
I don't know what you're talking about.
So, Kat, did you see the anti-gun rally in New York?
Personally see people in New York City rallying? No. Online and watching the fools outside? Yes.
I always like to check because you're right there in the heart of things,
Yes. And actually, I was in Midtown, but like I was saying to him, these kids, they want to be involved, and I really want them to take part and feel like they're doing something, but they don't have a clue what the hell they're protesting or in favor of. Like, they're just upset.
Yeah,
and
not
they're scared,
not in something like this. This is an organized, this is exploitation, this is child abuse.
Listen, they have T-shirts. Who the hell has T-shirts? Like, kids don't go and print up their own T-shirts. That's total propaganda. It's totally contrived, and it's, use the tragedy to your best advantage. And unfortunately, kids, I don't want to say that all of them are naive and gullible, because some people are with it, but
the ones that were on stage today were naive and gullible. And they're working, and look, they're working off of emotion.
Yes, that's what it is.
And they're not informed, or I mean, the information is out there about the NRA. The information is out there about these shootings. The information is out there about the bombings in Texas. The information is out there about what happened in the Maryland school, but it can't crack their cranium because of whoever surrounds them is filtering that information away from them. So,
and it's fear mongering, right? Like,
it is.
I was saying, you just went through this tragic event. You're young. Everything that happens to you is for the first time. Like, as you get older, you have experience with these things, and it's like, oh yeah, that happened before in this era, that happened before in that era, whenever, and you're more adept to be able to understand how your emotions and how you should feel about a situation, because they weren't there, right? Kids in New York and New Jersey were not there, but they're empathetic because their feelings are so raw. That is not a reason to take away Second Amendment rights from everybody else in the country.
Also, the thing is, they're not real bright. I mean, these kids.
No, they aren't.
They're a little stupid.
They're the Goonies, man.
When you come out, when you want to take my gun, it's not a real good idea to sit up there and say that you're going to start a revolution.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean,
but this is what I'm saying.
What are you going to fight the revolution with?
Naive, but they're
words,
just not experienced.
Twitter.
Hey, I got 2 kids. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I am holding up my NRA bag, which came today. My black NRA bag that came today.
I want an NRA bag.
Become a member.
Not that much.
Yeah, no, exactly. I got my.
I was going to get my. To Dallas, I'm definitely becoming a member.
I was going to get my the baseball cap, but I was like, man, I got all these baseball caps right now. I get a baseball cap later. I got a black bag NRA that I'm going to sport everywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, that sends me to this. This is our GoFundMe right now. We're at $2,000 of our $8,000 goal. We're trying to get to the NRA convention because we know we support this civil rights organization. You don't see us marching on Washington. And you know what? I'm going to talk about that in a few seconds. I'm going to talk about that. In a few seconds. But they have a conference in Dallas, Texas. We're trying to get down there. We're gonna broadcast from Dallas, and that is our goal. That's our goal right there. We're trying to. It's only been up for 23 days. We were trying to raise everything that we needed by the end of this month because we're trying to get these airline tickets out of the way as long as they're cheap. Because the closer you get to the end date, the more the money is the more the airline ticket is going to be. So we're trying to raise that first, and then the hotel and the transportation, and we have 4 people going. Hutch, myself, and Terry, which is our security guy, is going to go down there. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can
support
us that way. Okay, now let me get back to this March thing because y'all might be angry at me for what I'm getting ready to say. But y'all weak.
Who's y'all? Who is y'all?
Our side is weak.
We never make enough noise. We never break stuff.
They've been in battle though, right? So we're coming out of an 8-year suppression. Like
no.
It might take a minute to wall out.
Nope. Weak.
Okay, sorry.
Our side is weak.
Yeah.
I heard there was some people out there counter protesting, I guess is what you call it.
Did you really?
No. There ain't no counter protest. Not in New York.
There was 12 of them.
Our side is weak.
I say let them have their little protest or whatever it is, because at the end of the day, as adults, Like, we know what it is.
No.
So
I wasn't no little protest.
No.
But I don't.
Did you see what it looked like?
They're protesting and talking to people who already think like them. They're not convincing me. They're not convincing you.
Did you see what it looked like?
Letting their emotions out.
Did you see what it looked like though?
Yeah.
It looked like a presidential inauguration.
Trump rally.
Yeah. Well, it looked like a presidential inauguration. That's what it looked like.
It was big. It was large.
I was like,
yeah. It was paid for, though. I mean, this is how they work.
Exactly.
I mean, there's not that many people in the United States that are that stupid, man.
Right,
I mean,
right.
There can't be. There's a history. There's a proven historical record of what happens when a population is disarmed.
Yeah.
And it involves millions of murders.
But these kids don't know that. That's
exactly.
what I'm saying. These kids have no reference in
they
their
weren't all
life.
Kids.
No. But they have, most of them haven't even lived through 9/11.
Little
to understand like the state of the country and how we got to this position.
Little
I'm saying there was thousands and thousands of adults there.
Because they're, look, you know,
America Stands,
right?
America Stands and Periscope said we don't have people like Oprah donating $500,000 for us to.
That's true.
No. Correct. Yes, we do. They just don't.
Well, right. We got the people. They just don't. That's right.
We got the people.
That's part of the weakness.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. We have the people to create platforms for us for social media. They just don't. They don't.
It's coming. It has to be coming because there's so many people who are gaining traction, even the younger people who now are getting money and getting in the right position to make voices a little bit clearer, you know?
I'll tell you what blows me away the most is that the Patriots owner, the New England Patriots owner, gave them his team jet to fly down to Washington, D.C. The Patriot. I mean, the NFL, are you people stupid? Are you trying to go out of business?
We already don't like the Patriots.
But that's true.
Give
but
us a reason.
A lot of people do, though. And I'm just saying, for them to get into something like this, there's a guy, I guarantee you, Kraft has security all the time. And he's gonna donate to a cause that wants to take ordinary people's guns away. And they try to tell you that that's not what they want to do. Don't believe that for a minute. That's all that was about. That was that and anti-Trump.
Yep, exactly.
Absolutely.
Anti-Trump, anti-NRA. We go, and then dark-haired little Ricky Schroeder was like, I've been trying
that boy got the pointiest chin I ever seen anybody. He looks like a cartoon character.
Every time he gets mad, he looks. I mean, that chin just gets all pointy, like you know. And the more
this is where the conversation takes the turn.
he looks like the Wicked Witch of the West Side.
Right.
My Lord.
And look, I was like, if he don't look like Ricky Schroeder, a younger Ricky Schroeder with dark hair. And then Sinead O'Connor probably forgot her notes, so she just stood up there.
Oh my!
She stood up there for 6 minutes. You know,
on your TV, turn your tint until he turns green. He looks just like the Wicked Witch of the
West. Hutch has been thinking about this. He's like,
no, that just came to my mind.
He's like, he is wicked.
Oh Lord!
He doesn't look normal, man.
So, since we're off topic anyways, can I tell you guys something?
What's that?
That I haven't told you before. Okay, so 7 years ago, right? 8 years ago now, I flew out to California, met up with my girlfriend, and I was like really passionate at that point about politics. And this was before you, Wayne, and all this. But I was really passionate, and I told her, I'm gonna be on Sean Hannity's show. I was like, I'm gonna be on Fox News. I want to be a commentator. I don't want to be like a real journalist, anchor, whatever. I want to be a commentator and give my opinion, my point of view, blah blah blah. And then I let it go. That was like the only conversation I ever had with it. I never told you, Wayne, right? Like we never had that conversation. And then a little birdie flew that little note 7 years later, and tonight it came to its own fruition, manifestation. This is for all the Christians out there who believe in like the prayers that you put out and like the juju that you give. And tonight, it actually happened where we're having a conversation, and I had the opportunity to actually ask questions to Sean Hannity.
Well, you did
so
good.
I just want to say thank you to you both for being part of my little,
Juju.
like I said, manifestation.
Yeah, Juju.
My little, prayers gone answered. And just a little commentary that I made so many years ago. That was even before I met you. And I never told you about that ever.
No.
Right? I never mentioned it.
Yeah.
But then
I'm so happy to be part of your Juju.
And I was like, it's awesome. Thank you, guys.
We part of her Juju.
Okay, go back to your Wicked Witch. Go ahead.
Hutch, we part of her Juju.
I'm part of my...
Listen.
As long as we're not biting any chicken heads off.
we are all creators, right? If you believe you're Christian, whatever, you believe that you are made in the image of God and your creation of whatever, which means you also have the power to create your reality, your future, and the life that you want to live. And I kid you not, the first thing I thought about it, when you said that we were going to interview Sean Hannity, I was like, get out of here. I was like, yes. But the first thing I thought about was like, I went right back, and it kind of came full circle 7 or 8 years ago when I'm sitting in my girlfriend's, living room nonchalantly. And she's like, you're so into politics. I never realized. I'm like, I'm going to be on Fox News, and I'm going to be talking to Sean Hannity. I swear to God. This is what he like separated from Alan Combs. So it was like his new thing. Right? See how long ago? I'm not trying to age myself. I'm just saying.
Well,
so it's pretty awesome. It's pretty dope. Like,
well, ladies and gentlemen, you are
Play
listening to the Wayne Dupree Show. I'm your host, Wayne Dupree, along with Hutch Bailey Jr. and Kat Hernandez. We are looking for 25 sponsors.
Our new dream.
I have put up the link in the chat during Sean Hannity, and I just want to let you know that I think, and don't get me wrong, and I know many of you were enjoying Sean. You probably didn't see the link, so we're looking for 25 sponsors.
Outstanding. Now, I don't know. I'm going to put this out there. I hope I don't screw this up, but Wayne does a lot of work behind the scenes. We got a pretty big week coming up next week too.
Yes, we do. And yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll do it. On Monday night, we have candidate for Congress, Antonio Sabato Jr.
I gotta come on Monday night. I don't care if I don't have not one word.
On Tuesday, we have Omar Navarro.
Don't know who that is.
On Wednesday, we have Michael J. Flynn Jr. And then on Thursday, we have a MAGA candidate for Congress calling into the show on Thursday. So again, somebody asked me, or somebody made the analogy. They were like, Wayne, it seems like you are a little bit different these days. And the answer is yes, I am a little bit different these days, because ever since Pennsylvania, what happened in Pennsylvania, I've been more targeted because I can see what's happening. Hutch, myself, and Kat can see what's happening for the midterms. Some people that's out there right now, they can't see it. They think everything is fine. And the first thing that they'll tell you is, oh, Trump got this. Trump is going to take care of this. Don't mind Trump. Look, don't say nothing about Trump right now. Don't say nothing about Trump. Just move Trump to the side, because we already know Trump is elected. Trump is president. But the problem is the midterms. We got to get people in there for the midterms. And Trump isn't running in the midterms. We need candidates that are strong. We need conservative replacements for I was getting ready to say the wrong word, for the doodads. for the doodads that are leaving Congress right now. You have Republicans that are leaving in a time when they should be staying to help President Trump get the MAGA agenda moving forward.
But what about the voters?
Huh?
we need the voters too.
But
there's a
again,
lot of people, if you look online on Facebook and all that, I'm not voting for Trump. Blah, I'm not voting for his agenda anymore. He's blah blah blah.
I saw that.
You're
I saw that.
shooting
They'll get over
yourself
it.
in the foot.
Yeah, I saw
They'll
that.
get over that.
Yeah,
they'll get over that. I mean, that's not, if they care about their country, they'll get over that, because if the House gets switched, it's immediate impeachment.
It's
proceedings.
over. It's over.
The whole MAGA thing is dead. But there is some good news. It's a fact that Republicans are leaving, and it's a fact that Democrats have won elections lately. But the reporting on it like it's a done deal is ridiculous.
Right.
There's a guy named Tarkanian who's taken the lead in Nevada with Trump's endorsement. There's a gubernatorial candidate that I can't find his name that is also running on a populist MAGA agenda that's winning. It's a winnable deal. And Ann Coulter said it best. She said, when you look at the issues that Donald Trump won on, those are the winning issues.
Right.
Immigration is a winning issue. The wall is a winning issue.
Right.
You know, other things that he's doing, tax cuts, tariffs, you know, America first, that's a winner. Right. And these idiots are running away from that.
They don't want to talk. I mean, they think that for some reason they think President Trump is going to come and do a rally for them, and then everything is fine. You remember when they passed the tax cuts back in December or before New Year's, and I said what needs to happen is all of those Republicans, especially the ones that are up for re-election in November, they need to go home, talk to their TV stations, talk to the radio stations, get as much time as they need on the radio, and push what those tax cuts mean to middle-class Americans. And he didn't do it. They were waiting for President Trump to get out there and do it. And then, you know, the people, well, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to resign. I'm going to leave. I'm going to resign. You can't wait for President Trump to talk about it. He's already given Republicans the template how to beat the media.
Correct.
How to beat the old establishment. He's already given people the template how to do this, but they won't catch it. They won't catch that fire.
They don't have the guts. I don't think they have the. Go ahead.
We got to get rid of the people. See, the thing a lot of people don't get yet, the Republican Party is not the president's friend.
No.
By and large, they want him gone.
Yep.
Because it is affecting their livelihood. It's affecting their ability to become millionaires.
Yeah.
Now, there's some good news. There's a guy named Nick Polchy who's running against Paul Ryan in the Wisconsin 1st District. That's where we got to do it. And what you have to do, ladies
I think he contacted me today, too.
Well, that's a guy we got to get.
Okay, yeah.
We got to help that guy, man. I don't know where he stands, but it doesn't matter. What we got to do, you got to understand, yes, your local seat is important, but there's no reason why everybody that is in our orbit can't send $5 to Wisconsin.
Right.
Or whatever you can to any district that will help. We got to get, if we got rid of Paul Ryan, that would send, I thought getting rid of Eric Cantor was going to be enough, but it wasn't.
No.
You get rid of the Speaker of the House, and you did something right there.
Yep.
And we have to scare these idiots because, and we got to start calling them out for what they are.
They're
not conservative, sorry.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 22 away from our goal. Thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Miriam, for your donations tonight. We're 22 away from our goal, ladies and gentlemen. We have been on target ever since Pennsylvania. We have had in here Kelly Ward last week. We had Chris McDaniel, who was running for the Senate.
He's a fighter. I like him.
Actually, Chris McDaniel and Kelly Ward both are running for the Senate. We also had Sheriff Clark. We had Mike Cernovich. And we had Sean Hannity to round out this week. Next week, we have Antonio Sabato Jr. We have Omar Navarro. We have Michael Flynn Jr. I talked to him today. We got him coming in. So we are a little bit more targeted these days because the midterms are coming up. This omnibus, this piece of crap bill. I couldn't get it. You laughing at me. I feel no. I ain't even gonna do that because people gonna get mad at me. But it couldn't have come at a worse time.
No,
it's so
what a
discouraging, you know?
What a betrayal.
It's very discouraging.
Yeah.
There's a couple other guys that are running to unseat Democrats in the Senate. Lou Barletta is running from Pennsylvania to unseat Bob Casey, Democrat. And a guy named Blankenship, who is a coal magnate in West Virginia, is running to eliminate Manchin. And Blankenship's got an interesting story. He was kind of a political prisoner. He got put in back when Obama was trying to destroy the coal industry. There was a mine accident in West Virginia, and he was the head guy, the CEO, and they put him in jail because there was a mine accident. He had to go to jail for a year. You know, it was ridiculous. He's like a political prisoner. But anyway, he's a hometown favorite. They love him in West Virginia. His name's Blankenship. So we got people out there. We got to get some more.
Yeah. You know what it is, too? When you have somebody like a Trump who's such an alpha, and like people, not everybody obviously appreciates that kind of personality, but he comes really strong, and he's not establishment. He's not wise in the ways of politics. So when you have these politicians who are leaving and maybe thinking of running, but they're not sure what platform, or they don't want to be so outspoken, I mean, it just gives you a preview into who they are relative to who the president is, if that makes sense. Like what they're willing to risk and what they're willing to talk about and what they're willing to, their values that they're willing to represent. So I would take that into account in like the local elections as well. Forget, nothing is happening in New York. This is like socialist town. So, but in places where you can affect the vote and you can do that, I think people really, really should look at the candidates that they have in place.
We have a caller on the line. Ladies and gentlemen, you can sponsor the show by going to paypal.me/Wayne Dupree or going to WayneDupree.com/donate. Again, paypal.me/Wayne Dupree or WayneDupree.com/donate. Go ahead, caller 561. Go. You're live.
Yeah, Wayne, this is Gary. I'm calling from South Florida. How you doing?
All right, Gary. How you doing?
Good. And love your show. Listen to it all the time. And look, I'll make a quick comment. Sean was great. I agree with you 100%. I just want to say one thing. I was watching TV. I was home all day today, and I just want to mention that these were massive crowds at these rallies. And somebody in the chat room mentioned that this was almost like a voting voter registration event, and in a way it was. In a way it was, and we have to wake up here and realize that the way we're gonna be able to keep this Making America Great Again conservative movement going is through the states, and this is where we are. This is how our system works, and I think Trump is not. He's not a savior. He's not going to save us.
Right.
And
Well
we
said.
really have to wake up. I was amazed at some of the crowds that I saw. They were very, very large, and unfortunately, I think they're being led down. I'm not going to get into. When I was younger, I protested myself, but I'm just saying that we should wake up and smell the roses, so to speak, and we need a grassroots effort that is similar to the Democrats because they have it down and the Republicans do not have it down.
Well, the Tea Party was grassroots. The problem is they got squashed by the Obama IRS and nobody really went out for them. You do have groups that try to at least give another point of view. But if people are not supporting, like how much fighting are you doing for everyone?
Yeah. I'm just, I really noticed, especially the one in D.C., and they were all over the country. So I'm just saying that I think it's time to, we have to not think that just, some tax cuts,
right,
and some of the policy things that have been done are going to take us over the finish line. That's not going to happen. You got to get out there and knock on doors.
Right.
Now, I agree. I agree with you. And ladies and gentlemen, you need to listen to this. I was going to ask him what he was doing, because it's one thing to call up a show, but you got to get out there and do something. And I'm gonna exempt myself a little bit because I'm on the radio 5 or 6 nights a week. That's what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's serious. I'm here every night. You know what I mean? Sometimes 2 hours a night. Mm-hmm. Trying to get the word out, and I love the audience. It's growing. I mean, some of the numbers are fantastic. I want to thank each and every one of you that tunes into us, because I wouldn't be doing it if you weren't there. That's for sure.
Right. 202-470-6738. And he said something else that I'm glad that he did. He said Trump is not the savior.
No.
Right.
He's not the savior.
He's not to be worshipped.
Right. And so many people, I was trying to tell somebody today because they kept throwing Trump has got this. Trump has got this. I'm like, Trump was forced to sign a piece of legislation. And y'all are telling me there's 3D and 4D chess. I'm like, are you that blinded that he was forced to sign it in May 2017. He was forced to sign a piece of paper that prevented him from waiving the sanctions on Russia in August. He was forced to sign, then the Congress, the Republican Congress, signed or passed this, I don't know if it's legislation, but when they went on recess last August, they made it so that Trump couldn't make any recess appointments. Do y'all remember that?
Republicans did that.
Republicans did that now.
Yeah.
And look, and I understand that y'all are in love with President Trump, but y'all have to see what's happening around him, though. You have to see what's happening around him. The establishment came in and they got rid of a whole lot of MAGA supporters from the White House. Correct me if I'm wrong. They did.
No, they did. And it's taken them a while. Here's the most important thing I want to say. Just remember that we're conservatives. We're Republicans and conservatives, and we believe in the First Amendment. Don't break apart because some of us have different opinions than you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
If you believe a certain way and you think that this guy can do no wrong, you go ahead and keep believing that.
Right.
I'm going to believe different, and I'm going to do my job on the radio every night, but I still support the president.
I do too.
So let's not fight amongst ourselves.
Right.
Over this.
For y'all to get on social media and throw it out that we don't support President Trump or we turning our backs on him, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, it is. That's not true.
Okay.
Ooh.
I said it. Right. Yeah. You know.
You know what's interesting is that the Democrats are always groupthink lockstep with each other.
I don't
so
want to like that either.
Through everything, they always know what the message is. Like Bernie Sanders knew he had to step back because the agenda was set. This is how it was going to happen. You haven't heard him complain that Hillary stole the election from him and Logan, right? Right. So now Republicans, because we are free thinkers, because we all are very individual, even us three,
Right, as we should be.
Exactly. We could agree on some things and some things we're not going to agree on. But the Democrats are not like that. They understand the bigger picture and they agree on that. They agree on the end goal. And if some of them got to shut up in the meantime to get there, they'll support what they got to do to get to the end. I think that Republicans lose that.
Yeah.
You don't understand the end goal. So you're not following the plan.
See, look, listen. All is not lost, but all can be lost.
1.3 trillion is lost.
Okay, there's potential.
2.4 trillion in 10 months.
That's not counting the 8 years of Obama.
Right.
A trillion every year.
Which, man, that $2.4 trillion in 10 months still racks me, because you're supposed to have some fiscal conservatives in Congress, and
they're lying the whole time.
At least the Freedom Caucus stood up against this crap.
Yeah.
At least the Freedom Caucus stood up against this crap. Mark Meadows and them stood up against this. But I'm like, we were yelling and calling names and stuff when we looked at $10 trillion over 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have pushed through. Our party has pushed through $2.4 trillion in 10 months.
For months. What? For what?
Months. For liberal agenda, just for the military, and then to fund the rest of the agenda
billion.
of the Liberal Party.
$600 billion.
Well, it's about half.
Now, the other thing to keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, also, is that, and we said this from the very beginning, we said this as soon as the man was elected, this movement is much bigger than Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
He is a messenger, and he's a damn fine one.
Right.
But this is about you and I.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This is about America.
He was the spark to move your energy to get you back in the game.
I liken him to the tip of the spear, and he's a sharp, pointy tip to be afraid of. Him and the rest of the people who now finally he's putting on his team. Finally, he got his big dogs who are people are afraid of what's going to come down. That's what he needed, because you need.
Jumbo.
I love him.
He's fixing the fires of people, man.
Oh my God! I need the mooch back. He got rid of the mooch way too quick. I need him back. He needs a pit bull. Sarah Sanders, she's awesome, but she is so quick with it. Yeah. You're not getting your talking points out without her rebutting it and shutting
She's
it
beautiful.
down.
She's like her dad.
Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, she's like her dad.
She gets some facial expressions too, man.
Yeah, boy.
Shut up.
Yeah.
She knows how to deal with children because she's a mom.
Yeah.
So she knows what the arguments are going to be before they pose them. And she's like, yeah, whatever. This is what we're doing. This is what I'm talking about. How many times do you need me to tell you the same thing?
And she can bake a wicked pecan pie, too, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't do the cooking, Hutch. I don't know.
405, you're live. Go.
Yeah, hey, you guys. I'm getting really disappointed in y'all. I'm calling from Oklahoma. I'm listening to you talk. And, what you're saying about President Trump and piling on him just like everybody else, that's pretty upsetting. As far as comparing Republicans to Democrats, I got to give credit to the Democrats because they know how to stick together no matter what. Now, President Trump is one person, one man, and he has faced more opposition, slings, arrows, bugging of the Oval Office, leakers, turncoat GOPs, the crooked FBI, lying whores, obstruction, and he gets his power from us. And as supporters, we need to stick by him and lift him up, especially in times like this where he felt he needed to do this in order to get the funding for the military. That's what it was about.
Let her go. No. Let her go because she's claiming something that's not happening. But go ahead. Let her finish.
The whole thing is, I really don't care about the money. We signed up to Trump.
What'd you say again? Say that again.
We signed up.
You don't care, ma'am? Ma'am?
No, I don't care about the money at this point in time.
You don't care about it? Okay. All right, there you go. All right.
I don't. Okay. I don't. We're fighting for something much bigger here than a budget. When you've got people going into our schools shooting kids up so that they can promote a political agenda. Our problems are much bigger than a $1 trillion omnibus bill.
Wow.
And for people to turn on President Trump at this time,
I know.
I don't think we're turning.
Nobody's turning.
I think
we weren't.
Nobody's turning.
You're echoing what we were saying previously.
But you know what? You have your right to say whatever you wish, and thank you for your call. Ladies and gentlemen, we are not turning on President Trump. As a matter of fact,
no, I thought we were. No.
I would hope there would be some value in maybe him hearing some other opinions than the people that are around him are probably all saying, "Oh, great job, great job." No, not a great job. Not a great job. I'm sorry.
I think that's where she misunderstood like our direction. Like if she was listening to the whole entire thing, she would have heard that we were saying like he's opened the door for other Republicans to gain that kind of power, but he's not going to do it for you.
Right, and
saying anything.
And there's no way
contrary to what she was saying.
There's no way that you can. First of all, if you don't care about that money, you got to think of your grandkids.
We got a problem. We got a
problem. Think of your grandchildren. We already owe 20-some trillion.
Yeah.
The only thing that's saving our economy right now is that the bond markets are continuing to let everybody borrow money. You know, it's.
I was shocked. I was shocked when she said that because as fiscal conservatives, you should be worried about the national deficit because it affects everything in this country. It affects everything, and it also affects decisions that are made in D.C. So if you are saying that you are not worried about the money, but you want to protect President Trump, there is a big divide, and I see it on social media. Everybody wants to protect President Trump, even though they say, well, President Trump got this. Look, President Trump is elected. We elected him president. He's in there. He's going to end, if push comes to shove, he's going to be in there until 2024. But we still need to elect, like we were said early in the show, we still need to elect people to go in there with the MAGA mindset. Now, if you want to get angry at me because I'm saying that we have a whole lot of pieces of done in both sides of Congress, then call up here and be angry at me. But don't be angry at me when I say we have to get those people out. We have to put the right people in so that they can help President Trump, because the people that are in there right now, they just set him up.
That's what they did.
They just set him up. And
what do you want us to do? You want us to sit here every night and come out and wave the flag when he signs something like? I mean, if you look at the biggest thing to me is not that he signed it. The biggest thing to me is that he's continuing to tolerate these people in the Republican leadership that are out to get him. That's what I want. I want him to get mad, listen to me, and start eyeballing Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. And these people, Paul Ryan told him he'll never support him. He told him on the call. I got the tape.
Paul Ryan ran, and I don't know how many times I have to say this. Paul Ryan ran to President Trump last week before the snowstorm. It was documented. Fox News said Paul Ryan ran over because President Trump had
wanted to veto it.
Wanted to veto it last week, and Paul Ryan went over. Look, wait! We got money in here for the military. It's the military. A whole lot of y'all think that when has the military not been funded?
You can fund that all by itself.
Fund it all by itself. You didn't need the omnibus bill. You didn't need the omnibus bill, but for somebody to call up here and say that they ain't worrying about the money, that's scary to me.
Mistaken.
That's scary to me.
She was obviously mistaken.
We love the list. We love you guys, man. But you
scary.
know, we're not going to. We already lost a radio station over this. We're not going to change.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
We had like 15 shows, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth the way I feel it, and I think that's what you expect of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
and like,
I didn't even know we were piling on.
We're
Trump.
not all gonna agree
Yeah.
on every single point, and we don't have to all agree. But the end goal has to be the same. The end goal has to be staying with control of the Senate and Congress, so that we can move things through, so we can pass bills that make sense, not be forced to sign stuff because it's on the table. Like, what would it have hurt, really, to veto it? And then maybe a little thing tweaks and you sign it later. But I think the veto was like his show of force.
I wish he would have never said he was going to veto. He was thinking of vetoing it. If he would have never said that,
I think
this would have been a little bit easier to take. But I was fully expecting a veto, especially when I looked at that stage, at that podium, and I saw that freaking bill sitting there. When I saw that 2,200 pages,
I thought he was going to veto.
Sitting in a pile, I thought, here's his Ronald Reagan moment.
Who is it? Kat. Kat contacted me. She was like, he's getting ready to do on the briefing. He's going to veto it. I was like, what?
And 2 minutes later, he's like, I thought about vetoing. I'm like, no, just do it.
I know. I was like,
but I had to sign it. But this is the last time. It's so funny.
You know what I did?
I say that to my kids, like, I'm not buying you any more ice cream. All right, fine. This is the last time. And then, like, tomorrow I buy it for them again. We don't believe you.
You know what I did? I contacted Wayne. We were talking about it for a couple minutes. And I was like, Wayne, I'm getting off politics. Man.
Yeah, you sure did.
I'm done. I'm going to tune up my chainsaw, man. I'm going out in the shop. I'm pulling his carburetor off.
Yeah. I was like
so sick of my stomach, man.
So many people were like, you need to do a show tonight. I was like, I can't do it.
No, that would have been a bad idea. Because that lady in Oklahoma would have never listened again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she would.
We'd have done a show last night, man. I calmed down a lot.
I would have been all on him last night, though. Now, last night I would have been on him. I haven't even said anything bad about him tonight.
I'm trying to get it. Like, there has to be something that we don't know, even though he pretty much laid out the argument for why he didn't veto it. But there has to be something else that we're not hearing, that we're not sure of how these rules, regulations, and stuff concerning the law works. Because I don't get it.
Here's what I think is possible. I think that if you look at our geopolitical status in the world right now, we've got a lot of really big potential things that could happen in the world with our military. And we don't know anything about them.
Mm-hmm.
And Mattis might have needed a couple $100 billion to make something happen that we don't even know about, that you'll read in a book in 20 years from now.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of, man, is that, all right, man, maybe they're getting ready to hit North Korea. Or maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe something is getting ready, or maybe they found out that the Russians are going to do something that we have to interdict. I don't know, but I can't see it, especially after that veto tweet.
Well, Rush was talking about this, and I listen, religiously. So what he was saying was basically that he got kind of bamboozled by the Republican Party and like the Paul Ryan and the Mitch McConnell, and to being convinced that this was what it was. But one of the interesting things he mentioned was that this is the last time, like, they voted to not vote on a budget again. That was one of the things he was talking about. So, like, every year there's a budget, but they voted
except for the last 9 years.
Well,
there hadn't been a budget for 9 years. We've been doing this.
But I'm saying, like, they put into place a vote to that this is the budget, you agree on, whatever, but then there's not going to be another vote on it later. So it's kind of like you got to take the money now for the stuff that you want, because then it'll be another few years before another budget comes up. Like, they're not going to try and do it every year.
It's coming up in 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what was
right before the election.
Right before the election.
Yeah. Telling you what I heard on
Rush.
That's all. I don't know if it's true, not true, but that's what they said.
He said it. That was the only thing that was good about what he was when he had his press conference, he said, "I'm not doing this again."
Yeah.
Now, if he can pull that off, I don't know how he's going to pull that off.
I don't either, because I'm looking at all of the omnibus bills in the last few years, and all of them have been over $1 trillion.
I know it's been like the bailout for every year.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, I've been looking at these omnibus bills, and look, I'll take President Trump for his word that he won't do it again. But I like to.
He does it again.
I want to see. I want to see how he stops this one. Yeah, I want to see how he stops that one the next time.
Now, what I would encourage the president to
line item
is, I would start calling out these people in leadership.
Yeah, you got to.
I would stop saying, "Did you know that Paul Ryan's wife is a lobbyist for Hillary Clinton?"
There you go.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah.
Did you know that Mitch McConnell put money in this?
Yeah.
That I can't use any of the wall prototypes that I inspected in California. And things like that.
Yeah,
just start telling the truth on these criminals.
Right, exactly.
Did you know that in 2000, Mitch McConnell and his wife were worth $3.2 million? And in 2014, they're worth $35 million, both on government salaries.
Mm-hmm. They stepped up their game. We're not hustling hard enough, Hutch.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? You got to fight, man. They're all against you, Mr. President. Get people that and I know you're getting your people around you, you trust them more, and that's awesome.
Somebody, let's see. Lisa Austin in the Facebook chat room said, "You are not an economist. You don't understand in GDP. I am disappointed in you, Wayne." Okay.
Gross domestic product. What does this have to do with
I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. James Jones says, "Good job, Wayne. You need to reach the black community more." Oh, all right.
Wayne, are you not handling that?
Hey.
I got the Puerto Ricans locked. You need to have the blacks, okay? That's our deal.
You racist.
No, I got the blacks.
Yeah. I mean, Hutch is black. I mean, get that to him.
I don't want it. I'm going to take a camera into the hood, Deontay.
But and I know, again, two things. So many people are sending me all this stuff about something that Jerome Corsi said, and the people were talking about, but President Trump can spend it any way he wants to. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. If that's the case, what happened last year with the 1.1?
All you Trump supporters, and God bless you. I mean, I'm one of them too. But how can you, with a straight face, support an omnibus spending bill?
That's what
where none of us know where the money's going.
Yep.
For that much, that's more than an annual budget. And like Wayne said, we just did this a couple months ago.
Yep.
They're bankrupting us.
I want to know how much of that money from the omnibus bill, since y'all saying he can do it this time, I want to know how much of the omnibus bill from last May. You remember when y'all told us to shut up and stop complaining and stop jumping on Trump and everything, that everything was going to be fine? How much of that omnibus bill went toward the wall?
How much has been spent?
I don't
even know if it's even been spent.
We don't even know.
They allot money for a whole lot of things that don't get anywhere.
When we're talking about this budget and this government spending, we're in la la land, man.
Yeah.
And look,
have you ever seen $1 trillion? Written out like 1,000. You got to think about it.
We all
there isn't even that much paper.
Millions. Right.
We all know that it's not even a budget. We know this.
Right.
No, it's not a budget.
They haven't given us a budget in a long time.
It was actually unnecessary. It's actually the debt ceiling bill. That's what this whole thing was.
Yeah.
Was to raise the debt ceiling. He didn't have to. Paul Ryan didn't have to do this.
Nope, sure didn't.
All he had to do was raise the debt ceiling.
Yep.
But they think that you're so damn stupid that we have to spend $1 trillion to raise the debt ceiling, which we might as well not even have a debt ceiling.
We might as well not. Just throw it out.
All we do is raise it.
Just throw it out.
Yeah.
The whole thing's ridiculous. Don't get mad at us for calling something stupid. I mean, I don't know, man. I said everything I could say.
What I am enjoying right now?
I'm just tired of people.
When I had to rebut some comments that were made directed at me specifically, and you guys were just sitting back, all quiet.
Oh, I don't care.
No.
Whatever. And now you got your feathers ruffled by
no.
Honey.
No. This show will be on. This show will be on Monday.
We defended you now. We defended you in our way.
I did. I know. You laugh.
You laugh, but no, we did.
Oh, see, I don't see any of that stuff.
Well, I never saw the people that sent you anything either. Now, when you said that they contacted you, I'm like, oh. Now, I know some people contacted me.
And me.
But I didn't know they contacted you.
Savages.
I had your back, man.
Well, thank you very much. But anyways, I think that, like, at the end of the day, we all know that the budget's not a budget because it's, like, anti-budget, right?
Bill,
it's just spending.
The bill is not a budget.
The budget. That's when you can start eliminating. That's when you can start eliminating agencies.
But he also asked for a line item veto. He said that's what he wanted to have.
He did say that.
He's not going to get it.
He did say that. But you know what?
I think
you know what's funny?
Serious, like he's the type of control freak that would have to go through it line by line and see what's in it.
You know what's funny?
Like I think he's that type.
That's the other thing. He signed it. He didn't read it.
Everybody keeps saying, I know he did. I know he did.
There's no way. Did you see how big it was? It was bigger than the King James Bible.
Rand Paul tried to get through it.
I know he tried.
Like,
he tried.
Too much.
He got the 600 pages and said, "I'm going to eat some pizza, man. I'm out."
Yeah.
You know what gets me is that everybody says it's not a budget. It's not a budget. Wayne, it's not a budget. Hutch, it's not a budget. Cat, it's not a budget.
I mean, it's not technically
it's a spending bill.
But a budget, but it's budget.
But you have itemized things that the money is going for. Like a budget.
Well, I mean budget like in my house. Like I'm only gonna spend this much on this thing. Like that's not a budget. What they put
1.3 trillion is not a budget.
That's not a budget.
No, it's a train, a bank robbery.
They got the printing going. I was telling Sean, I'm like, what budget?
That's a crash. That's a crash 29.
Yeah.
Just print it. You need money? Print it.
You know,
own the printers, don't you?
Yeah, that's good. But you know what, Kat? The problem with that
the value.
The problem with that is when the rest of the world takes the dollar out of the picture. You know, right now, the U.S. dollar is the world reserve currency. If that ever ends, if other countries stop using the U.S. dollar, we're Panama, man.
Somebody said in the Periscope chat room that, but we can stall the money for where it goes. Did they do that last May?
No. You don't even know where it went, what was spent, what was gained by any of the funds that they're saying that they're allotting to these different programs. Has anything been spent? We had the stuff for the roads, the TARP and all that. Did any of that money ever get actually spent, or was it just allotted to certain programs and nothing ever came of it? You know? How do you even know?
The thing to remember, too, is that this was designed by the Republicans who are in charge of everything to undermine the President of the United States.
Hold on, wait, Gingrich.
That's why I am mad. I'm not as mad at the president for not coming up with a different way to deal with it. I'm mad at Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell and all of their allies, and there are many in the Republican Party that don't give a damn about this country.
Now you sound like Rush Limbaugh.
Gingrich.
Exactly
he listens to me. That's where he gets it.
Gingrich from the Periscope chat says, no, you can't stall because it's appropriated for that particular.
The money's out there. The checks are written. They're out there. It's gone, man. That money is.
Thanks, Adam. And now Adam, as part of MAGA News Network, he's on top of this, and he's like us. You know, we don't care. I mean, look, if you get mad with us, get mad with us. We're gonna keep on telling you what we think and you don't have to accept it. You can get angry all you want to. Hey, look, and nobody's telling you not to support President Trump because we support President Trump.
No, I support President Trump 100% more than any politician I've ever supported.
And
I
as a matter of
continue
fact,
to do that.
And as a matter of fact, many of us have lost more than you ever have supporting President Trump.
I'm not a Christian anymore. They took that away from me.
Many of you found us during the election, but we've been here for a while, and we have lost. We lost an entire radio station.
Yes, we did.
Because we sided with President Trump.
And it was all for the better.
Yeah. So, for all of y'all to say, because we don't kiss a ring or anything like that.
You're not lockstep mentality.
No, because, look.
It's real talk. It's on the shirt.
Yeah, it's real talk. Yeah, it's on the damn shirt. I fussed for 8 years at all those people that gave Obama a pass for everything that he did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We all called him Obama bots. We made fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
We made fun of him, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And then, and actually, in a way, we're calling President Trump out, but we're not jumping on him tonight. Most of everything that we have talked about has been the turncoats in Congress that slipped the bill to him, knowing full well that it was going to piss off a whole lot of people. And then
his base, his support.
And it worked.
And then, it's not pissing off anybody else. It's pissing off his supporters.
Yeah.
Right. And that was the way. And if you listen to Rush, he explained that pretty well. That's what it was designed to do.
Right. I agree.
Exactly.
Flag Guy on YouTube. I don't know why you got blocked. And you keep sending me these emails. I don't know why you got blocked. I don't know. I'll talk to the moderators. You can keep on sending me emails. I don't know. I don't even know you. I don't know.
This is Wayne's Saturday night. I don't know why you got blocked.
Speaking of Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, you can sponsor the program tonight, which helps the co-hosts out every now and then.
Yeah,
we don't do it too often.
They're probably mad at us right now.
They're probably going to take sponsorships back.
Yeah, they're probably mad with us right now.
I don't think anyone should be mad at me because
you're separating yourself.
Individual now, are you?
Well,
not part of the team anymore.
Okay, all right. Rolling out, leaving us on the battlefield.
Trump, and I don't know why she came out so hard at you guys.
She don't even cook.
She don't even cook.
I don't cook.
Yeah,
You're
she
right.
don't even cook.
Not even a pair of needles. Nothing.
I hardly eat. Why should I learn how to cook? Anyways.
Okay. All right.
Stop being so regressive.
What do you give your children? Nuts and berries?
Huh?
If you don't cook,
kids eat their peels, man. Them chicken fingers.
If you don't cook, what do you give your kids? Nuts and berries?
Oh no, I cook for them.
Oh, okay.
I don't cook.
Okay. You do cook then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Takeout, boo. We Uber Eats up here. That's what we do. No.
They're gonna have to knock out a wall for y'all then.
I want some White Castle. They don't have any out here.
Let me tell you, I buy White Castle cheeseburgers, and the ones at the store, you gotta microwave them.
I can tell you how to make them.
Hutch. I just said I don't cook. Like, I'm not trying to figure out how to make them. I go purchase them.
No, I know.
They're so good in 30 seconds.
But I'll tell you how to make them better. Okay. And it's 50 seconds, not 30. But you take they come in a 2-pack.
Yes.
You hit them up for 50 seconds, right?
Yes. Not open, right? Sealed.
You open the one end.
Oh no, I don't. I leave it closed. But go ahead.
I'm telling you how to do it now. You open the one end, 50 seconds, and then immediately you take them out of the microwave, open that plastic up, and turn them upside down. And that way the bottom's not all wet and nasty.
See? Okay, so what I do is I pop it in, but I don't open the thing. So it like puffs up, like the steam gathers and it inflates the little pouch. And then it pops and I know it's ready. And then I pull it out real quick and I do that. I flip it upside down.
There you go.
Put the ketchup, I cover it, and
I'll put
good to go.
I like it right the way they are. They're good, man. Ooh, they're good. They got a version of them down south, too.
Anybody go to 7-Eleven?
My daughter works at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, 7-Eleven, baby, 7-Eleven.
What do they have?
Remember them back
Hot
in the
dogs.
day when they had the first microwave sandwiches?
Yeah.
They had them hamburgers, and they were white.
Yeah.
Were they like Hot Pockets or something?
They were good.
They were like
Hot Pockets
that was like midnight food.
This is not like real food, though. You know that it's like not real actual food.
It was, yeah.
It's like a food representative.
Dish gas too. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone another 30 minutes over. We only have five sponsors tonight.
Oh well.
If
they'll love us again later.
Yeah, I guess y'all were angry, but truth is truth. So
yeah, we're not going to ever veer from that. I mean, this is what we do.
Yeah, truth.
But that's why you have to love us, though, right?
I would think.
Whatever.
I would think. I mean, it's not like we try to say. It's not
Ron, Sheila, Miriam, Carol, and Nicholas. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for
And we're so glad that whoever is still here has joined us for this wonderful Saturday evening.
And thank you, Sean Hannity, for coming on the program.
I told you he was going to be
Definitely.
here. Look. I told you he was going to be here.
I know you did.
Last week.
We believe, Wayne. We believe.
Last week after the show, I went on Twitter and I saw all those notes to Sean. You said you were going to be on Wayne Dupree. I was like, uh-oh. They listened to
me.
what,
though? You know what? He was very gracious.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, my God.
In giving us 3 times as much time as he was supposed to.
He gave us 27 minutes.
That's big, man. That is like huge.
He gave us 27 minutes, and
that was a 10-minute.
He was only supposed to give us 10 minutes, right? He was only supposed to give us 10 minutes. So there we go.
Awesome.
Thank you, Sean.
740, you're on the line. You're live. Go.
Yeah, I want to talk to Wayne about the NIC system.
NCIC, NCIS, NIC, something like that.
Where have I seen that?
Yeah, I'm
it's the background
I'm
check.
Oathkeeper. I'm Oathkeeper 101st on the.
Hey, how you doing, Oathkeeper?
And thank you for your service in that.
Go ahead, you're live. Go.
Hey, Wayne, this is Oathkeeper.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I wanted to talk to you guys about this NIC system because a lot of these people that are down at the VA are telling me that they have been being disarmed since since Obama was in office.
Yeah.
What, related to PTSD or what?
So,
well,
you're talking about the Social
took
Security,
their
right?
medical records illegally. Now, the Republicans said they fixed this problem.
They did.
But they never did fix the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, now in this bill that everybody's pissed off at Trump about, this fixed NICS is in there.
Yep.
Now we've got the corrupt FBI getting ready to slam every veteran in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what?
Right.
And I have this story on my website, as a matter of fact. This bill that Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell sent up there to President Trump to sign has this fixed NICS system back in there, and it's allowing it to go back into is allowed to be active again. Is allowed to be active again. The title of the story is Omnibus Bill allows gun control ban to be reinstituted on Social Security recipients. And am I right? Am I right, Oathkeeper?
Yes, but see, they've been doing this since Barack Obama was in office.
Right.
They were doing it illegally then.
Right. He passed it. Right.
And now they're doing it to the seniors also.
Right.
Anybody that has a payee, okay, I can understand some people have, they have mental problems where you shouldn't have a gun. Okay, but they're doing it to all veterans. And Wayne, guess what? They did it to me.
Oh.
And I have no charges. Okay? So now I'm going to end up having to go get a lawyer and go fight this crap because, now the fixed NIT system. Now, of course, I can buy guns. I live in Ohio, okay? I can buy guns. That's no problem. But the problem is they want every veteran to go down and get fingerprinted and everything else at the sheriff's office. Now, this is just too much, folks. We don't need this, okay? Everybody needs to be calling their senators and their congressmen. Everybody needs to be calling about this.
Hell, veterans were already fingerprinted. I'm a veteran.
That's right. They've got our blood type, our DNA, everything about us. They know every single thing about us. They know everything they've trained us in. And it all comes back to who do they want to disarm first? They've got to get the guns out of the veterans' hands, right?
That's true. Yes, sir.
Right.
If they get the guns out of the veterans' hands, then it's only falling back on who? The patriots that are in the country that are willing to. But if they take all of our guns, there's 25 million of us. And if they do this, then you know what happens in the end game of this. Okay.
Sure. Hey,
total confiscation.
Let me ask you a question, because I'm a veteran too, and I pay the VA for prescriptions and whatnot. Is this predicated on if you have another person that takes care of your bills? Because I noticed down at the bottom of the form every time it asks me, is this you or is this somebody else that's paying his bill?
No, they were doing it. Now I don't get anything for post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay?
No, I don't either, but I'm talking blood
okay,
pressure.
I mean a lot of vets, but there's a lot of vets down at the VA, and I've talked to them at town hall meetings, and what they are telling me is they tried to purchase weapons, and guess what? They are getting turned and sent over through the NIC system to the sheriff's office where they have to be fingerprinted.
Ooh,
this has nothing to do whatsoever with, somehow Obama made an executive order and the VA went along with it, and the VA went ahead and said, well, we'll go ahead and turn the VA medical records over to the FBI, which is illegal under HIPAA laws, okay? You can't give any medical information of anybody without a warrant. So it's without due process, and they're doing whatever they want. Every one of you people out here, you need to stop these people, okay? If nothing else, we need to go down there and march on Washington ourselves.
Well, it also says here, the write-up from Fox News says this act allowed government agencies, not just the courts, to determine if someone is mentally incompetent to buy or possess a gun. Pete Sessions, a Republican out of Texas, said during testimony late on Wednesday that he was disturbed that the bill would undo part of the Republicans' good work. But by Thursday morning, the House leadership had decided to go ahead and put it in the Omnibus bill.
Jeez, oh man. And the thing about it is, the thing that is the most disturbing, and anybody that I'm recently retired, this is getting GIs that are suffering from PTSD, from IED blasts or whatever, not reporting it because they know if they do, their guns are in jeopardy. And the suicide rate is through the roof. This is crazy.
Another reason, Hutch, that's another reason why I post things like, you guys do realize out of the 25 million vets out here that we do have many unregistered guns, and we have at least 20 plus guns. So your count on guns is completely wrong on vets. I mean, I can hand guns to Wayne. I can hand guns to Hutch. I can hand guns to Cat. You see what I'm getting at here? I mean, so, I'm always going to stand by the citizens, regardless.
Right.
Excellent,
and I'll stand by your
call,
show.
Man. Excellent call.
Okay?
Thank you, man. Thank you for reminding us about this. Yep.
Thank you, and I will call again.
Thank you now.
Outstanding.
Good night.
And before we go, there's so many things in this bill that many of you don't know. Many of you don't know about. Rand Paul tweeted out a whole lot of stuff about it.
Oh man, it was crazy when we were
printing out a whole lot about it. But this right here is one of those things. Yeah. This right here is one of those things that that I guess the Democrats slipped in there, and the Republicans said, "Okay, well, yeah, sure, go ahead, put it in."
And here's what they did. They, Pat Toomey, where are you? Senator Manchin, where are you? You're the guys that are pushing this. But, on its face, it sounds good. We don't want guns in the hands of mentally disturbed people. But in reality, what the Oath Keeper said is true.
Yeah, it is.
They don't want veterans to have guns because, by God, we know how to use them.
Right.
Yep. You're not afraid to shoot them. You're trained already.
No, we ain't afraid. Cow.
Stop watching those video games.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Mom's going to be mad.
Ladies and gentlemen, hopefully next week. Well, actually, next week we'll try to make up for what we didn't do tonight, because we still need to take care of our co-hosts. And
that's not be all right.
Well, all right, whatever then.
Can I get another oatmeal?
Yeah. I mean, Hutch is gonna be sucking applesauce through a straw. You're gonna force Cat.
I got a solution, man. I told you before. I got an old stale piece of bread. I'm gonna break it up in a bowl.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Heat up some cream. Heat up some cream corn.
There you go. Yeah.
On the radiator.
I hate cream
corn. I don't have no gas or nothing. And then pour it over it's good stuff, man.
Thank you, Adam Gingrich. Thank you, Adam.
Pepper will be all right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back on Monday. Again, we have changed focus because we see the midterms coming. Y'all, some of you don't. Some of you, and I've said it on Twitter, some of you just want to think that President Trump has it all. President Trump will be fine, but we need to protect President Trump. Well,
Bishop level 1-3 to level 4-6 checkmate. No,
3D chess. But the problem is, while you're doing all this protecting President Trump, you're forgetting about people that need to be elected. Mm-hmm. And we have said on this show since 2017, since January 2017, Democrats have flipped 39 seats on the state side. You know what that means? That means that they are starting to work their little plan on the state side like they used to.
Look at the rally today.
Yeah. And when you control the state, you control a whole lot of things in the state. Look at California. You know,
George Soros has an operation to get secretaries of state at the state level.
Trump can't do it by himself, y'all. He can't do it by himself.
That's right.
You can say, well, we need to protect. No, we also need to elect people that have the same mindset, the MAGA mindset. And I'm not going to change what I said.
I'm not either.
We need to elect people that will go in there and make America great again. And right now, he doesn't have the people around him. He has shuck and jivers around him right now, but that's okay. That's all right.
John Bolton rode in on a white horse, though.
I know he did. Yeah.
That was a pretty racist comment.
But that was cool, though. That was cool. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Kelly, for your sponsor. So we got 6 tonight.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly. We got to go. I'm not even gonna push for anybody else. I'm just going to say y'all have a great weekend. Don't do anything we wouldn't do. And pray about it.
There you go.
Pray about it,
Real talk.
Pray about it. I mean, real talk is real talk. And I remember pastors used to say, some of y'all might not, I might have stepped on some toes with some of the things that I was preaching about today. Hey, we weren't preaching. We might have stepped on some toes. But
you didn't come here to hear the rhetoric.
Don't leave tonight and say we don't support President Trump, because if you do,
that'll be not true.
That's lying.
That's lying.
That's lying. And if you want to lie, then then you can go on the Silver Hair show.
Silver is waiting for you.
Silver is waiting for you for that one. This is not utopia. This is reality. And we are in trouble.
And you know how many impressions they got?
Well,
Millions.
When you share the same show 20 times in an hour, Periscope,
we have a problem, Houston.
Periscope notices that, and you get extra views when you share the show from Periscope, like 15 times in an hour on your Twitter account. I don't know if y'all knew that, but I'm throwing that out there. All right, Kat, how can people reach out to you on social media?
Oh, thank you guys for sharing this Saturday evening. You can always find me on Facebook.
Hello, Kat.
At Looks and Yes.
Kat, did she go mute?
Are you messing with me?
Hello, Kat. Did she go mute?
I hate you.
I
hate you.
Okay, go ahead, Kat. I'm sorry.
I hate you forever and ever.
I hear you.
I know you hear me. I know you hear me. Okay? I know you hear me. All right.
Kat got her hair did.
Yeah, she got her hair did.
You can always reach me on Facebook at Looks and Love Guru, or Kathy Talk is my page. And then on Instagram, you can like and comment on all of my pictures at Kathy Talk, or PMUNYC for permanent makeup.
You messed her rhythm up, man.
I know.
Bye,
Wayne.
I know. Bye, Wayne.
Kat, hello, Kat. Hello, Kat.
I hate you.
I'm Hutch Bailey Jr. on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. Berg's Eye View.
The lovely Hutch
on
Bailey.
Twitter, you saw me in the Periscope chat room a couple times.
The lovely
Cold War Radio Mondays, 7 p.m.
The vivacious Hutch Bailey Jr.
There
Hutch
he is.
baby.
The vivacious. Okay.
Vivacious.
My name is Wayne Dupree.
Alpha male. In the house in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, he had to throw alpha male in there. He had to throw alpha male in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Wayne Dupree. You can check me out, WayneDupree.com. Check out that story that I was just telling you about. I'm gonna put it out again tonight. Omnibus bill allows gun control ban to be reinstituted on Social Security recipients, but also veterans too. Make sure that you share that on your social media account. Y'all have a great night. God bless.
Thanks for listening to the award-winning Wayne Dupree Show, named one of the top 50 influential black Republicans by Newsmax. Contribute to the program by going to WayneDupree.com and clicking on Donate. Also, support the show and take us on the go by downloading our free app. Just search Wayne Dupree in your app store.
You are fake news.
Sick of fake news? Tune in to the Wayne Dupree Show. Real talk, and you'll always hear it with us. Bring 2 to 3 friends to the show tomorrow night, and let's make America great again together.
God bless America, and no place else.
This has been the Wayne Dupree Show.